With TSD Talks.
Hello and welcome everyone to episode 10 of the Pillar of Garbage podcast with TSD Talks as usual, my wonderful co-host. Say hi, TSD.
Hi, TSD. And
we have a guest, the Story Nerd. Say hi.
Hi.
And yeah, some great news for you for you all today. We got bought out. We're gonna be making a ton of money from this going forward, like a really high amount of money. They didn't even lowball us. They just really they kind of came at us swinging. Yeah, we are the latest arm of Tenet Media. Yeah, Tenet Media, part of the Tenet Media family. And all we had to do was sign over a little bit of editorial control. You know, so we do have a Ukraine segment. Why Ukraine is bad. We're gonna get into that real soon.
Yeah.
But hold on, I've been away for a few days, so I'm just gonna open up the news, check nothing strange is. I mean, nothing. Why would anything strange be happening? But
about our potential buyer even.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I have no reason to assume they would be in the news for anything. But holy shit!
What?
This can't be right.
Wait, what is it?
This doesn't look right at all.
Oh,
let me. I'll get back to you guys. I'm just actually going to email our new boss, Lauren. That's so strange.
Miss Chen.
Why has she got an out of hours? Yeah. Yeah, Miss Chen's got this out of hours on her email. It's almost like the account's been deleted altogether. I'm sure it'll get through.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll get
through. I did think
it's
it was
fine.
a little bit odd that they told us we had to have a segment about how attractive Putin is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was already on that train, so that was actually on my plans for today's episode anyway. So I was fine with that. But
well, I guess we're gonna have to wing it. We're gonna have to wing it, I think.
Yeah.
Freestyling it.
I guess we got a guest here, so that works.
Yeah. No, for anyone listening at home that hasn't heard the news, that's the end of that bit. Yeah, Google Tenet Media. Fun story there.
I've actually never heard of it.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you then. So do you know of like people like Tim Pool and Lauren Chen? You know, like very fun alt-right influencers.
Yeah.
Turns out they were like literally being paid by the Russian government to spread like actual like propaganda, like not yeah, like all this like everything's woke these days. The Democrats are doing bad shit, like or their content that's like their streams and podcasts and shit talking about that literally paid for by Russia. Very funny. Yeah. And what's even funnier is that Tim Pool, who's kind of a loser anyways, but like he was getting paid way less than other people.
That is the best way to describe him. Oh, I've not heard that.
Yeah, he was getting paid way less than like Lauren Chen. He was still getting paid a lot.
That tracks.
He was getting paid like $100K a week, but still. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a video about this at the moment, which will probably be out around the same time this podcast gets out. But yeah, they were earning. So some of them were earning like $100,000 per video, I think. I'll double check those figures because that might not be exact, but it's that ballpark of the amount of money that was just kind of appearing. They didn't bother checking where it was coming from. You know, it's just like this company Tenet came up to them and said, "Hey, we're going to pay you a shit ton of money. Let us post your content." And you know, hey, you know, if you do a video about how Ukraine's bad, you know, we won't complain.
Yeah,
it's kind of a little extra. Even.
Bizarre situation.
Yeah. It's wild because like with the amount of money that you're making, like you can make $1 million in less than 3 months just by like shit talking Ukraine, I guess.
Literally, gosh,
yeah,
that's a lot. That would convince some people.
Clear, yeah.
I mean, if anyone's listening to this and hasn't seen my video yet, maybe check it out. It's gonna be a good watch. One thing which I don't want to step on that video's toes too much, but one fun fact is so Dave Rubin, he was one of these guys that was being paid. He didn't know, you know, allegedly he didn't know where the money was coming from, but one fun thing, so when it all broke,
I wonder who was paying me. Who's paying me to say bad things about Ukraine and good things about Russia? I wonder.
Yeah, he tweeted like, hey, you know, basically, guys, I didn't know any of the situation here. And this quote from the official Department of Justice indictment they released, you know, this proves it. And there's a bit in the indictment that basically says Dave Rubin asked Lauren Chen, who was running it all and who actually knew about the Russian connection. Dave Rubin asked her for some information on the fictional kind of investor that was supposed to be behind it, giving them the money. And Chen sent him a one-page kind of CV of this person. But the person's name, if you Google it, there are no results. So like, Dave Rubin's out here saying, yeah, they don't exist. And like, it would be trivially easy to find out they don't exist. So Dave Rubin's out here saying, guys, this proves I was innocent. You know, I even asked for information on the backers. And it's like, okay, Dave, so you were curious enough to ask for information on the backer, but you never Googled the backer.
Honestly,
either you're lying or you're lazy.
Yeah, I think it's honestly, it might just be like, what's the name of that? Like thought process.
Plausible deniability.
Not plausible deniability, but like the idea of like, it's easier, like it's more likely to, whatever you can attribute to, whatever can be attributed to stupidity over evil.
Occam's razor,
yeah. Is Occam's razor? I think Occam's razor is the simplest thing, must be correct. I don't know. Hanlon's razor is what it is.
Shit. Maybe it's Hanlon's razor, yeah. There's a lot
of razors.
A lot of guys have razors.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out. You cut yourself on those.
You know, Hanlon's razors, Occam's razor, Chekhov's gun. These guys have a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah. It's strange any of these writers or philosophers got out alive. I guess they didn't. I guess they all died at the end. Maybe that's why.
Diogenes is a rock.
But yeah, I'm not going to be very smug in this video. I'm kind of being informative in this video I'm working on. But I will be smug here because I didn't call this, but I didn't not call it either. So I just want to take my little victory lap here. Like, you know, I definitely never said in a video Lauren Chen is being paid by Russia or anything like that. But I did kind of very consciously put her in like a diagram, I did a couple of videos making a loose kind of network, like drawing out the links between a lot of these figures on the right online and how they connect to the sort of right-wing media companies. And like in those videos, I say like, it's not that there's a bunch of dark money and all of these guys are plants, but if that's 100 and 0 is it's completely innocent, we're not at 0. So like,
turns out it was actually 100.
Turns out it was pretty near 100. Yeah.
That's so funny though.
But that's what I'm working on. TSD, you got anything cooking up? You still on that Gravity Falls shit?
Yeah, I've still got that Gravity Falls video I'm working on. As it turns out, it won't be out before the debate, which was my original plan. But it probably will be out much later than that because I recorded it.
Well, that's good.
I recorded it yesterday, and I used my brand new camera to record it. And guys, it looks so much better. Like my new camera is ridiculous. It's like I couldn't really tell because of the little display on the camera isn't great quality, but once I got the actual file onto my computer, I looked at it, I was like, oh, I can like see my pores.
That's
Wait, is it like 4K or?
Yeah, it's a 4K camera.
Great, googly moogly. Gosh, dang.
It's so good. It's like it was expensive too. It was like, you know, not for cameras, but it was expensive for like my budget. It was like $500.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but it was
an investment, hopefully, though.
I think so. Like it looks incredible. The only like hiccup I ran into is that apparently it stops recording after 30 minutes. But as long as I know that, I can.
Oh, that's a bit.
But like
that is a slight hiccup. Yeah, you kind of don't want.
It's not so much that it runs out of storage or anything. It's just like it just stops and then I have to restart it.
Just cuts off.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably like settings somewhere that can change that. No.
Probably. I'm just lazy and haven't done that yet.
Entirely fair.
But I recorded this video, and I also recorded it in kind of a new setup where I like stand up, and I have a bit of a teleprompter. So I'm kind of trying to this is kind of like a trial video for me, trying to try out some new styles. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, I've always wondered about the teleprompter because apparently a lot of the video essayists who are on camera use them, and that's a possibility for me in the future, maybe one day. And I like how do you kind of. Have you figured out how to look at the teleprompter and read it without it being obvious you're not looking into the camera?
That's the thing.
The minor practicalities of it.
It's obvious to me, But I think that was because I put the teleprompter like way off to the side when I should have put it like right behind the camera. If you do that, then it won't be very noticeable, because I look around a lot anyways. It's not like I'm having like solid, unbroken eye contact with the camera at all times. But I'll probably do it. I'll probably just fix it for the next video. But what it does do is that it reduces my recording time by a lot, because I don't have to pause and then look to the side and then look back to the camera and then re-say the line and then pause and look back. So this video, which probably would have taken me like an hour to record originally, now only took like 35 minutes to record.
It's a pretty good time.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 minutes shorter, and you wouldn't have even had to restart the camera.
Right. Like I only had to record for like 5 more minutes after that. So you're not even entirely wrong.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, Story Nerd, I did a bit of a disservice to you by brushing past so fast to get to the bit in the intro. But do you want to, in case there's any listeners here who don't know what you're about, do you want to tell the folks at home, what your channel is and if you're working on any little projects at the moment?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I'm the Story Nerd. I mostly make videos about like anime, video games. I'm a game developer and kind of animator, in and out. I go in and out of that.
Yeah.
I originally met TSD when I was working on in their series, their like ARG series, and I animated an episode. Kind of.
Yeah.
I do wish I could have done better.
No, it was really good.
For the time, yeah. Looking back, I'm like,
well, but I made this web series back in 2021. That was a remake of a web series I made in 2020. That was called The Storyteller Retold, but the original was called The Storyteller. It's a whole thing. Looking back on it, I definitely could have done a lot of things better, but one of the things that I was really happy with was I had a couple of people do guest animations, and the Story Nerd here was one of them. He does like pixel art animation and game development, so he made an animation about one of the short stories that was about a haunted video game. Came out very good. I'll probably link to that series in the description, but if you would just want to watch his episode specifically, it's episode 2, I think.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
And I even made it into a game, but I took it down because I was like, this game's kind of bad. I need to do it again, and I just haven't gone back to it. So,
yeah. So those of you who know of my work doing the auteur, the Storyteller was kind of the auteur before the auteur in a way. It was not at all the same in terms of vibe or story or anything, but it was like my first, narrative project like that.
Very good though.
Yeah, you guys are moving and shaking in the world outside of stupid YouTube videos. I'm just that's my one thing. But yeah, what are you working on?
Right now I'm between a lot of stuff right now. Like I'm working on a game that I'm not going to go into too much detail on, but YouTube wise, I'm editing a video about sibling complex in anime. Because in a lot of anime, there's a lot of siblings that do not act like siblings and act like a lot more. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. So
hey, cultural differences, what are you going to do?
I mean, yeah, but it's also just like, there's the difference between for the story, it's like, it kind of makes sense. And then there's just like, I think the writer just likes his sister. I don't know. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of going into the video. It's not the first time. It's like probably like the second time that I've actually tried to take like a serious approach to like video essays, because I watch a lot of them, but I don't really make a lot of them, and I kind of want to. So I'm kind of like going to like, okay, where's the history? Where did this term come from? What were like the first few examples? What are current examples? Stuff like that. And I just need to finish editing it at this point. Yeah,
like I'm not ignorant enough of like, okay, honestly, I haven't watched a lot of anime, so I'm not gonna be speaking this from an expert things, and I know that it's ignorant to say that like that it's all what that it is, because obviously it's not. Anime is, from what I've seen, is a very rich history of very interesting stories and very, very well done. There's so much variety. Like there's stuff like Evangelion and Death Note are like the two like big ones I know are probably like the normie answers or whatever. But there is there is a non-zero amount of
non-zero
very non-zero amount of really, really strange premises. There's this video that went viral a couple of months ago of like this guy going up to someone at an anime convention. I think it was an anime convention, and asking this person like, "What's your favorite anime?" And the person says, "Have you heard of this anime called My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute?" And like it pauses and just looks is like it's something like that, and it's such an it's like. It sucks because I know that there is so much good anime, but because of there's like just that non-zero amount of stuff like that it makes it like turns off the wider public to it, which is, too bad.
There's a lot like that. I think like one of the best examples of how it like actually does a disservice. There's a lot of titles that don't even match what the show is about, but it's still like that title. Nice. What are you gonna do about that title?
Like, it's like analog clickbait.
Like, why title it that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you get a lot of the very, very gross people that are like, "Yo, this is great. Let's spend money on it, dude. Let's go." But like, there's a show called Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, and just like from that title, you're like, you have an idea. You're like, okay, it's one of those shows. But like, it's actually like
it gets a bit crustier just from the title alone.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I don't really want to watch it, and I initially didn't.
Maybe that's not one for me. Maybe that's one. That's one for the guys on the internet.
But like, it was a really good story about just like these different characters were going through different problems in their life that cause like supernatural things. And like the first, I think every 3 episodes focuses on a different character. And the first one was like this actor who's like fading from existence, and like everyone's forgetting about her. No one can see her except the main character. And you would not think the title would relate to the show except for one scene in like the first episode where she wears the bunny suit because she's like, I'm trying to get people to see me so I can know that they see me. That's the only time they're the bunny girl. And the show is great, but the title, anytime I bring it up, you instantly get like, oh, okay. I'm like, right, so, please believe me.
It'd be kind of like if from what I'm understanding, it sounds like it'd be to translate for the American normally viewers, aka me. It'd be kind of like if Breaking Bad was called like this man, and he wears underwear all the time, and and his green shirt.
Yeah, literally, like this skipping over.
It's like the equivalent of like 10, 15 years ago on YouTube, for instance, like. Smosh videos would like there'd be one scene where there's like a woman in a bikini by a pool, and then that would just be the thumbnail. Like it's just like that, but the show animated.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's not to say that there aren't a lot of shows that.
Yeah, sounds like rich ground for a video essay there. Lots to talk about.
It's like an interesting thing of like that even has to be a discussion though, right? Of like it's like even if that show, is good from what it sounds like. It's like, why title it that though? Is it just like, it makes you, like for me, it makes me wonder is it just a cultural thing where the title has different connotations in the original Japanese, or is it just like, clickbait, like you said? That sounds like a really interesting topic for a video essay. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I actually do want to look into that a bit more. That's specific. I don't think I ever went into that in my video, so I might have to do another one focused solely on that.
Yeah, it could be a fun follow-up. Yeah, the titling conventions of anime. If no one's made that video essay yet, that could be a really good video essay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look into it. I'll put a note down. Let's see.
That's what we're here for. We're giving ideas.
Yeah, and hey, it's almost like we didn't plan that, but we could have done, because what I wanted to talk about this episode. Yeah, I can phrase it in the form of a PoGservation. Why not? My PoGservation this time is when it comes to getting people's attention and trying to game the system to get eyeballs on your stuff, transitioning over to the clickbait side of things as maybe an example. YouTube creators have a lot of funny little rituals and little beliefs in what's gonna work and what's going to be successful, and which little tricks you can use to trick the big algorithm system into getting your work out there. Do you guys have any little sort of superstitions like that? Because there was this tweet which I think I put in the Discord, and I'll read it out for the people at home. I saw this a few months ago, and it really stuck in my head. It's from Kat, H Bomber Guy's like researcher producer, and she says, "I'm fascinated by the folk theories that creators very confidently come up with about how the YouTube algorithm works. What are your success stories of chasing the algorithms? How do you know if it was your techniques that impacted the way the algorithm treats you?" And I just thought that would be a fun thing to talk about.
Well, there's kind of like a broad, obvious answer of I still have no fucking clue how the YouTube algorithm works.
Yeah.
But I will say that there are some things that I think have like kind of worked their way into my intuition that I'm not sure if they have any actual merit.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's the whole kind of the locus of where I'm
that
get.
seems like the premise of the question. But like for example, I had this belief for a long time that I can't that it's better to upload two videos in 2 months rather than 2 videos in 1 month and then no video the next month. For some reason, I always thought that like if I even if like 2 videos were exactly the same length apart, realistically, if I were to upload one at the beginning of the month and upload one at the end of the month and then upload nothing for the next month, then that would be worse.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I don't know why I got that in my head. I don't know if I could like even name any examples of that happening to me and that having that effect. It was just something that like wormed its way into my subconscious that I was like,
no, I love that because that there's so much like arcana and like lore around, and like wisdom we pass amongst ourselves about, like one thing. It's like everyone talks about consistency. Like everyone says consistency is like the number one thing. You want to be consistent with your uploads, and like obviously. We don't know that for sure. Like, there's probably a video of someone at YouTube saying something like that, but like, there's nothing in the YouTube studio that says if you upload videos this regularly, they will do well. It doesn't work like that. And it's just what I like about your thing there, TSD, is that it takes this probably real thing and then just takes like one step kind of to the side.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good first example. One thing I do, which again is like. There's probably a big nugget of relevance here, but it's like, maybe just a twist of sort of arcane belief on my part is I like to do something which I kind of call the pillar of garbage double dip, which is I won't sort of do extended like uploads on the same topic. I'll do like two videos on a topic and then I'll do 2 more videos on a different topic and stuff like that. Especially if the first one hits, then I'll do 1 follow-up and I won't do any more. But even when they don't, like, I feel like, so examples, I guess, I did 2 videos on Mr. Bircham. I just did 2 on Over the Hedge. I've got 2 coming up on like kind of YouTube grifter topics, and then I'm going to move on and do other stuff. But I feel like, for me, it's like probably the way the recommendations thing works is it figures out an audience, and then if the video does well, it's because YouTube's figured out who the audience is for it. And then if you upload again, YouTube's going to think, hey, well, it's probably the same audience. And so, chaining them together probably makes sense, but I don't know if that's how it works, Yeah. I'm kind of just making that up.
We actually talked about
thought process, though.
Yeah, we actually talked about that a little bit when Maxman video came out, actually, I think.
Yeah.
I mentioned that I was going to do a video that wasn't related to Marvel or anything afterwards, and you suggested to me that I should probably wait a little bit if I wanted it to do well, because
to let the algorithm forget.
Yeah, like so that it doesn't. So,
but I don't know if that's true.
Here's the thing, though. What's interesting is that the videos that have consistently been doing well since that, like that video has not tanked. It has not like done terribly since.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I was looking at it earlier.
It's still done pretty well.
It's chugging along.
But it's gotten to the point where like my older videos have started surpassing it in terms of regular, videos like per week. Interestingly enough, that video I made about Queen from Deltarune? That video consistently has been the one that's been doing the best over the last couple of months, which is really interesting to me because it did well when it first came out, but like it's been consistently doing better than the High Top Films video, which is my my nemesis, my most popular video. and an old rival.
Yeah, and that has a lot more views.
Has a lot more views,
but less regular views. Yeah. I guess who's talking about High Top these days?
That's the thing. I think is that
maybe that's part of it.
I think, but like the Queen video still has a lot of relevance because the Deltarune fan community is still very active, and it's been getting more and more active as there's been like more and more hints and teasers of the next few chapters coming out. And so it makes sense to me that that like fandom content, that stuff that's like celebrating something rather than drama content, which is talking about a specific moment in time, tends to have longer longevity. Which tells me that the Queen video will continue to do well, and that probably the X-Men video will still continue to do well, especially as we get more into X-Men stuff, as Marvel does more like X-Men 97. Probably will do some more stuff with Deadpool, all that whole thing. And that makes me hope that this Gravity Falls video will do really well, because Gravity Falls is having a huge surge in influence right now. And if I get caught up in that way,
because it's coming back for season 3.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Alex Hirsch told me himself. But and also because, interestingly enough, because my topic is about how I don't think Gravity Falls needs a season 3, and that's a discussion that's been happening over and over and over and over ever since the show happened. So every time that discussion kicks up again, that video is going to get caught up.
You got that SEO.
Yeah, the video is going to get caught up in that debate, and so that's why like making something about the release of the Book of Bill probably won't have as much longevity as making it about like specifically this debate of whether or not Gravity Falls needs a season 3.
Yeah, you're right there, I think.
Yeah, I think the Gravity Falls fandom is definitely like one of the best ones for that, because every time Alex Hirsch breathed, they were like, "Oh, Gravity Falls, Gravity Falls."
Season 3,
getting like a free shout out every time.
Yeah, they hibernate, but they never go away.
Yeah.
Do you see that when he blinked in in the interview? That was actually Morse code for 3, and and 3. That's the 3rd season.
That sounds accurate. That sounds like fact.
Yeah,
to
I'm
me.
sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny on this point. Like, insofar as we as creators have like a guideline, it's every now and then there'll be like a new video from. It won't even be from the YouTube teams themselves. It'll be like they'll get a creator to make a video with some new information that they're giving out. Yeah, that's vaguely how it works. And one thing they've said, I think, fairly recently is like every video is kind of treated by itself. Like, don't worry so much about the kind of stuff I do with my Pillar of Garbage double dip, because the algorithm treats each video kind of independently. And I just don't believe that. I just don't, that's not true. That isn't true. Because like when I had my period of most recent success was back in, I don't know, fucking June or July or sometime around then. I did a video on the Daily Wire animated conservative TV show Mr. Bircham, and that did really well. And then I did a follow-up one like a week or two later, and that instantly got pushed to so many people. So clearly, like, there's like a slipstream effect happening there.
Yeah.
Clearly, like, it is getting pushed to the same people. So clearly it's not totally independent. But yeah, we don't know what's going on.
There's a thing of like the YouTube. I think that YouTube algorithm is at a place where not even YouTube themselves really know how it works, because it operates
for sure.
on its own as a learning man.
It's like a black box.
Yeah, it is a black box. That's exactly it. Exactly it. Obviously, I don't have like maybe they have like a whole thing of memos internally of like, this is how we do it. But I think that the way that YouTube acts and the way the advice that they give, it seems like they don't really understand how exactly it works. The best that they can do is that they can like artificially like inject some codes into it to try and get it to act a certain way, but that won't even always work.
Yeah.
Like YouTube Shorts, they've been pushing YouTube Shorts a lot over the last couple of years. And YouTube Shorts do tend to do really well sometimes, but like, for me, Shorts almost never do well. Like every once in a while, they'll get one that does pretty well. Actually,
I just stopped doing them. They never do well enough for me to even consider making them.
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Is that it's not really worth it after, because it's so volatile.
Yeah. I guess it's niche dependent as well, but even, there's never that crossover between Shorts audience and long form audience anyway.
The one short that I had that did really well was back last July when I did my Barbenheimer video. I clipped out a section from that video where I talked about how the movie was like not apolitical in the way that I was fearing it would be. Like, it addressed the fact that Oppenheimer was pretty openly, sympathetic to socialists and stuff like that. And I thought that was really interesting and cool because it didn't just like, it didn't do the thing that a lot of mainstream American movies where they're immediately like, socialism, Iran. It like actually just like, you know, people who identified as socialists were just people. They weren't necessarily people who were identified as being in the right.
Yeah, and it was a big thing back in the day. Yeah.
You know, it was interesting. And then I got a bunch of comments being like, you filthy communist. And I think that's why that one blew up, because I dared to, you know, not take into account that people, you know, think socialism is evil. But what were we going to say, nerd?
I was just going to say, like, with shorts, I feel like a lot of times, like, you know, if you, like, just some video that you can't just kind of, like, chunk up into, like, 1 minute long, like, quick shorts that can probably do well. But for a lot of creators, especially, like, video essayists, you can't really cut out a minute and then be like, hey guys, it's good, I trust you. Feel like, nah, we don't know enough to just get past it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot more build up for a good video essay.
It's not a medium where it's like a lot of individual, like, engaging little things. Like this podcast, for instance, you know, this would make a lot better shorts than a video essay because it's not building on what came before. It's a lot of little things. But, you know, I think that's right. That's probably the reason you don't see so many video essayists trying it.
Yeah.
I think that engagement thing... But... Yeah, I mean, maybe if the length was a bit more flexible, maybe if you could have up to, like, sort of 2-3 minute snippets that
I absolutely think that would
doable.
help.
I don't know.
That, like... Yeah. On TikTok, I'm encouraged more to post on TikTok because you know,
because you can post stuff that's more like in your wheelhouse. Yeah.
Like TikTok, you know, it's recommended that you post things that are really, really short, like 7 seconds or 15 seconds. But you can post things that are 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 30 minutes, I think, and it will still, you know, find an audience.
30 minutes now?
Yeah, I think it's actually no, that's wrong. You can post videos that are up to an hour on TikTok now. Which is they're really trying to corner like a long form market. I don't think it's going to work because people on TikTok do not have the patience for sitting through an hour long video.
They don't care.
But
I feel like that's the kind of move they would have had to make like years ago for it to stick. You know?
Yeah. I don't think that's going to play a thing. Like people mostly just use it for shit posting now to be like, I posted this whole movie on TikTok kind of a thing.
Nice.
Pretty much.
But I tried. I posted. Because you guys both watched my my X-Men video, I posted the 5 minute timeline rant from that on my TikTok just because I thought it'd be fun. It didn't do great, but like it was interesting but the fact that I can even post that, you know, is a huge advantage that it has over Shorts, which has like this very strict 1 minute time limit. Yeah,
and there's also the interesting thing with Shorts is that it doesn't replace just standard short videos like. You know, it's kind of strange when you step back and look at it that someone like Man Carrying Things is able to post not shorts that are shorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's strange that those go into two different kind of lanes in the YouTube system.
And the thing is...
But coming back to what you were saying about... No, you go ahead.
I was just saying, those videos still do well on YouTube's old algorithm, you know? On like the main video algorithm, which is interesting to me. Anyway.
Well, maybe that's a sign that... good short videos don't need their own algorithm. But hey, I don't know what I'm talking about there. I'm just throwing something out there, you know. I'm just asking questions, man. You know? What I was going to say about the communism bad thing you were saying about, which obviously that is our line now that we're owned by Tenet Media. Lefties bad, traditional values good, blah blah blah. Anyway, it's interesting about the engagement thing because I've also found that sometimes. If there's a point in a video that like prompts you to leave comments, I've found videos like that sometimes do really well, and previously I've attributed that success to engagement. But it's also like everyone's always like, hey, like the video, it helps the video do well on the algorithm. Like we all say that because we've heard other people say it, but none of us know that. I've even heard some chatter from YouTube to the tune of like likes and comments don't actually mean anything. It's you know, a video with more likes than normal is a video that more people are enjoying, so it's more likely to do well due to other factors. Or Maybe even that if there is a benefit to getting your audience to like and comment, it's more a psychological one, in that if you've been like, if the creator's like, hey, like the video, if you like the video, and you're like, you know what, I did like the video, then you're kind of putting yourself into that channel a bit more, and your brain's sort of thinking, well, if I've made that effort to engage and press the button, then, you know, clearly I'm liking what's going on here. Maybe I am going to stick around, give them a few extra seconds in the average view duration stat. Maybe I will check back, see their next upload, and maybe it helps more through that lane than anything on the back end. But yeah, like,
and you know what makes me want to like a video more than anything is when a little like the video and subscribe graphic pops up in the corner while they're making point. And it,
Yes.
oh
and
yeah, that 100% success rate for me.
From After Effects? Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Not even After
When
Effects.
you can tell they've put no time into it.
Just like not even like I especially love it when it's like the stock like a video thing that you can look up on YouTube, and you can just,
and it's clearly like outdated, like it's the old like button.
yeah, not even like the old like button, like the old like button from like 2011.
Yeah. 5 stars on the video.
Send me a DM.
You guys
on
remember the
YouTube.
stars days? Yeah.
Send me a DM one. I forgot that was
times.
a thing. I'm not gonna lie.
I wish they should bring it back. They should bring back YouTube DMs.
Should they?
They should.
They
It would
though?
make,
I can see
for me, it would make it.
I can see no
It
downside.
would make it easier for collaboration, I think, because then you wouldn't have to find people
that's
over.
It would make it easier for collaboration. It would also make it easier to get spammed relentlessly by AI versions of, I don't know. It just make it Twitter too.
Well, that's
like,
an issue on every.
my
on
DMs
every
on Twitter are nuts.
Oh god, I can't even imagine.
If I open my Twitter DMs, I've stopped checking my Twitter DMs because it's half spam and it's half like sort of 20 or 30 messages from viewers about things that I've spotted like a month too late, and at that point I can't reply because it's like, well, you don't want to be hearing from me a month late. You know, that's just kind of that makes me look bad. So I just have to put that out of my line of sight. But like, I open my Twitter DM request folder at the moment, and I can see no less than 3 messages that start off with "Greetings, I'm the PR manager at Airbnb. We're interested in advertising ... but they're all from different people. So like, you know, it's kind of got me thinking maybe they're not the PR manager at Airbnb.
They just have a lot of PR managers. You know, that's a big company.
They
you
just
know?
rotate the post. Yeah, it's like this guy does it Monday, Tuesday. The other guy, yeah.
They gotta switch it out every now and then.
It's just the thing is that because we live in Elon's world at this point, Twitter is so overrun with bots that like I feel like that
Twitter is fucking slop.
Using it as a sample size for how botted the internet is kind of unfair, because it's like Twitter.
That's fair.
Twitter,
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Twitter is the bots Georg, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you know, in like wildlife surveying, they have that kind of like that section of squares, and they throw it into the distance, and it lands somewhere, and that's a way of randomizing where you look. Like, Twitter is not that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nerd, you got anything? I mean, obviously, our channels are all different sizes. You know, the bar for success is different from me to TSD to you. But like, is there anything that if you're putting a video out there, you think, okay, I'm just going to do this one thing, and then that's going to make this, you know, give me a fighting chance in the algorithm? Or do you not have any weird habits like us do?
I mean, I feel like the only main thing I do is just like worry about thumbnails, but that's like everyone. I feel like that actually does, you know, affect the video. I also, well, I guess going back to what TSD was saying earlier, I do kind of try to lean into fandoms, like thumbnails and just like the videos in general. Because I think to this day, my highest viewed video is a old Gravity Falls animation that was literally like my second animation I ever did. It's like 77K views. I'm like, I don't know why.
Ooh, wow.
It still gets views. So then I even tried to do that again recently with TSD Voice, Bill Cipher, and an animation I did recently.
I did. I forgot about that.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember you saying about that.
Was that last year, or was it? It might have been early this year.
That was a lot of fun.
I don't remember.
It
was good, and I like had fun.
I think I have a decent Bill Cipher impression. Recently I did something. I'll send it to you guys later, and I'll probably post it on my second channel or something. But I did I sent it in the Gravity Falls fan thread in the Pillar server. But I did a reading of the final of the ending of the Book of Bill, where Bill Cipher has this big freak out at the end. Not spoiling for you, Pillar, but I read it out and I had a lot of fun doing that. And I was like, man, you know, I don't sound exactly like him, but like I can do
Still
like
pretty good, though.
I can do the intonations, which is nice, which is fun.
Yeah. But yeah, like I've been trying to lean more into them because I feel like fandoms. I know we already had like a whole discussion about how fandoms impact stuff, but I think that's pretty much it. I don't do too many things too crazy. I give up on a video.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that falls into it as well, though, because you know, earlier on in my channel, I kind of did the similar thing. I really I went after specific fandoms and like specific things, and I sort of.
You only made videos about.
But I mean, I guess that worked. Yeah, famously, I made videos about only Earth's Mightiest Heroes and nothing else.
Until 2020, until 2022, when you became woke.
Yeah, exactly. The woke mind virus got me at the start of 2022. And luckily, my new friend Lauren has helped me shake that for good.
Hey, that's good.
Ukraine bad. But yeah, no, I mean, I was going back to that for an example, but those videos did so much better than all the other ones. So I guess that is just, you know, that doing that kind of niching down, that's not a silly trick. That is just maybe that is one of the ways the algorithm actually does work. And yeah, everyone should just be doing that if you want to get more views. But you know,
yeah, it was.
Who wants views?
You just have to join the Gravity Falls fandom. I think that's what we're getting at in this entire podcast. You know,
honestly, you just gotta find. Okay, so this is like advice to anyone listening. You gotta find a fandom if you want to try to do this strategy. You gotta find a fandom that you have a lot to say about and you can make multiple videos about. Because here's the thing about the Queen video. After that video did well, I kind of wanted to do more Deltarune videos, but I realized I didn't really have a lot to say that other people hadn't already said.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know what to do here. But the thing with Gravity Falls...
Yeah, you didn't do the TS double dip.
I didn't do the double dip, no. But with Gravity Falls, there's this video, but I have so much more I could do with it. If this video does well, I'm definitely going to do more Gravity Falls stuff, which means that, Pillar, you have to watch it. You have to watch Gravity Falls. This is my campaign.
You can watch Gravity Falls.
It's short too. It's only 40 episodes.
It's 2 seasons.
And they're 20 minutes each.
It's so good. Oh my gosh.
But you know, of course, when you turn into a big famous Gravity Falls tuber, you know, when the next X-Men trilogy comes out and you want to do another big retrospective, you know, it's a kind of monkey paw X-Files, Twilight Zone situation. You know, oh no. What if your newfound success doesn't translate back?
Oh no!
You know, that's the thing that keeps the YouTuber up at night. Yeah, it's like the guy in the library who smashes his glasses. That's
and this guy who
bitter irony.
Smashes his glasses. Good thing he learned how to. Good thing he can still read without his eyes. Good thing I can still read Braille. My hands fell off.
Braille. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy how that happens. Yeah. I guess the only other thing I've got on this topic is like even YouTube themselves. They kind of don't make it easy. Like if you go on if you upload a video, there's a lot of fields you can input stuff in, and obviously some of that is still super important, like the title and the thumbnail. But then obviously you've still got options for tags, which apparently they used to play a much bigger part, and they just don't anymore. And also,
it's because they source keywords
since
from
I've
the
thought
description
about this.
and titles and stuff now.
Yeah. You can still put tags in. And then there's also there's the like what is this content? Like you can choose like commentary, education.
I haven't used that kind of feature in years.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like when was the last time you even thought about that? And apparently that makes no difference anymore, and it kind of used to. But it's like maybe when these things stop meaning anything, maybe kind of take them out. I don't know.
I think it only really means something if you're gaming content, and then because then it will be able to show what game you're talking about, and then it'll be like it'll move you onto the trending page for gaming if you're a big YouTuber.
think it can do that even without though, because like I've done video essays on games and I think they still show up.
Huh.
But I don't know. Might be misremembering. I'm an unreliable narrator.
YouTube is an archaic machine that still has remnants from when it was more useful.
Isn't that just the story of the internet? It used to work, you guys. You used to be able to search something in, and it would come up. Crazy. I was my girlfriend got we went and we got her a new phone today, so we were looking on like we were looking on Amazon for like phone cases and stuff, and I kept typing in, like we were looking at a few, and I was going back and I was trying to, you know, type back in the ones we've been looking at. But because of the way Amazon sponsors results to the top, I kept typing in the wrong things, and we kept just going around in circles, being like, you know, oh, what was that other one? Oh, was it this name? No, it wasn't. And you know, and that's half because I'm an idiot, but it's also half because the internet is falling apart, man.
Yeah. It's
fine.
Yeah. It'll do. It'll hold at least another 5 years.
Yeah, it's like kind of held together with like gum and string. It's not like it's a load-bearing, you know, information-delivering pillar of society and you know, civic life and democracy.
No. Nobody even uses it that much for anything important.
No one uses the internet.
Yeah.
Exactly. Famously, and this is an established fact.
I'm recording to this podcast.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm recording this podcast on my a VHS recorder. And
yeah.
VHS?
No, that's where I was going with this. Like, famously, our listeners, they don't actually play this on YouTube or Spotify. They just kind of imagine it, and they imagine it, and it's the same as, by pure coincidence, it's exactly the same as how we record it.
Some people just draw it a little bit on a tablet, piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's what a tablet actually is. I don't know what else a tablet could be. Tablet is just a slab of mud where you carve into things. I don't think there's any other definition.
You're talking about watching videos on their phone. I'm like, with the landline, it's a little, don't know how that would work.
Oh
yeah, what are you seeing in there? It's really,
you know, what's really
kids
funny
these days.
You guys know the series in the book Ender's Game.
I do.
I've seen the movie,
but I do.
So something that was really interesting to me about that series is that it's often cited as being one of the most prescient you know, sci-fi series out there because it came out in like the 80s, I want to say. But in the
they Skype and shit, don't they?
They have Skype, and they have they have a device in it that is almost exactly like what a modern iPhone is. But the only
I can top that.
The only difference is that that like they forgot what they didn't realize what device it would be like anachronistically named after, because in the books they're called desks, because the idea is that you do everything on it like thing. But you know, we chose phone instead.
We went further back. We just tablet as well.
Yeah.
Like remember the kind of wax tablets people were writing on back in the day. Yeah, let's bring that back. No, but I can top that actually. I don't suppose either of you have ever read E.M. Forster's short story "The Machine Stops."
I can't say I have.
I don't believe so.
Good story. It's from I think like the early 1900s. It's like 1910 or something. And it's actually it's a pretty fun story. It's like, you know, it's one of these kind of futuristic sci-fi stories they were writing back then. It's kind of a precursor to Brave New World in some ways. And these people are all living kind of underground in their pods and shit. But like, they're just fucking Skyping each other. They've got iPads and they're Skyping each other. And this guy was writing like 120 years ago. Crazy shit.
Wild.
I mean,
it's wilder predictions.
They're not actually called iPads.
But we don't have flying cars yet.
Well, you know, who knows? Give it a year. I think if you kicked a Cybertruck really hard, you could probably get some more time on it.
True.
My favorite part of The Machine Stops is when one of the characters says, "Man, I love the Apple iPad invented by Steve Jobs in 2007.
Yeah, real. My favorite part of The Machine Stops is when the machine stops.
Bro, what? Spoilers, Jesus.
No, that actually is a spoiler. Shit.
All right. Well, do you want to move on to the comment corner?
Yeah, I kind of feel like this machine stopped. Let's go.
You're right, fucking shit, you are.
Well, technically that isn't true. They can
I see the British are analyzing our American characters.
I'm sorry, but I'm offended by that content warning. I don't think you should include
but I'm
him for the
offended
rest
by
of them like he is in political.
I know they're not racist because I've been watching them for years.
Asian, baby. Channel name checks out.
It's Comment Corner.
So, Nerd, you said you didn't have any comments for us, so
I have none.
That's unfortunate. I think
they're all very wholesome and chill.
So we're just gonna skip over you. All right. But no, like obviously just feel free to just chime in on your thoughts on any of this. Don't feel like you're just a third wheel here or anything.
Oh yeah, I got you.
So
you guys don't do the theme song.
What was that?
The theme.
Oh no, we don't roll the bumper here.
They
just hear it.
Yeah, that's dumb. That makes sense. Okay, I'm dumb. Okay, I was waiting. I was like, when
no,
they gonna do it?
I think a lot of podcasts they will they have like a soundboard and they trigger it and stuff. But
I mean, we could reenact
we
it.
just clip that stuff in afterwards. Yeah, all right. Hold on. I've got my bass here. No, I can't.
That makes a lot more sense how you guys actually do it. Okay.
Oh well, you'll hear it when the episode comes out. Anyway, I still have some more comments from my X-Men video, which I love. The nice thing about having a successful video is that you just get the funniest comments because they're so
real,
they're so ridiculous. I got a little essay here from Vladimir Villani. This one starts off real strong. It has a time code, and the time code is to a bit where I talk about. Actually, you know what? I'll let you try to guess where the time code is from, because you'll probably be able to guess it. So after the time code, he starts off real strong. He says, "I'm sorry, but are you smoking meth?" Lamau.
Okay.
Lamau. I have never seen in my entire life. I've never in my entire life heard anyone say anything bad about this Rebecca's depiction of Mystique. No other comic book movie female character designed before or since has managed to combine evil, sexy, and alien so accurately. If you're quote-unquote uncomfortable, then maybe that's the point, Lamau. The wild jump from those two sentences right there. Anyway, Mystique is not the type of character to invite you into her own and make you cookies. She's literally a mutant assassin. She's not supposed to make you comfortable. Wow.
Alrighty.
I feel like he was almost cooking with that one.
He had a semblance of a point.
He was cooking something.
In the sense that maybe that should have been the way they went, that could have been a cool way to kind of use that costume design of the 2000s era Mystique. But they don't. The films don't do that with her.
Yeah.
She is just kind of, sexy naked blue lady. I mean, she's deadly as well, but she's kind of the femme fatale, but with fewer clothes. She's not they don't really ever play her
even.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, she got bumps on her. That's all they need. That's all, I guess.
True.
I don't know.
True.
The scales, yeah.
True. That's another thing E.M. Forster predicted, the future all the women will be blue and just wear bumps.
But it's God, okay. But I love how this comment immediately says no character before or since has managed to combine evil, sexy, and alien so accurately. Accurately is a wild way to...
Lilu?
Accurately is such a wild way to describe that, because I don't think there's an inaccurate way to do that necessarily. I feel like it's subjective. But
you're saying you've never met a killer alien?
I haven't.
Or you just met the male ones?
I've only met the male sexy aliens.
Yeah. Well, they get around a bit more, I guess.
Yeah.
Missing out, man.
And then
alien Romulus, right?
I don't think those. I guess
I actually haven't seen that.
I think aliens are asexual because they reproduce. Without,
I feel like
there's
definitely a small subsection of the audience that finds them immensely sexy, though.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Maybe that's what this.
Have you seen the tongue? Someone's into that.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people into that.
But I think that it's so interesting that he immediately says that, and then he immediately right after says, "If you're uncomfortable, then maybe that's the point." I don't think that something that's going for evil and sexy is supposed to make you uncomfortable. That's just my reading. It did make me uncomfortable, but I feel like that was a flaw on the part of the, misogyny of the costume design rather than,
Yeah, it certainly wasn't an intentional uncomfortability. No.
Yeah, I just feel like, you can be sexy and evil with clothes on? Question mark?
No,
Yeah.
no, that's not possible.
I feel like you can also
that was a dumb idea.
do it without as well. In the abstract, I don't think there's, I think, there is a movie that has Mystique with that design that does something interesting with it. I just don't think we got that movie.
And it doesn't do anything with it, does it?
And also, the thing about the idea of being sexy being equivalent to being naked is bothers me on so many levels. Because for one thing,
that's true. Actually,
think about One of the this wasn't me because I didn't watch this show when I was a kid, but I remember a lot of people my age talking about how much they were into Shigo from Kim Possible. Shigo is like a cartoon character for a kids cartoon, but she is for some, she's appealing to a lot of people. Also, interestingly enough, she is like almost completely covered head to toe. You don't need to like have this thing like because I think it's like just her personality and manner and aura and stuff rather than like is just essentially all but naked, Like I feel like that there's you can have like sexy femme fatale characters without exploiting them,
Yeah.
Anyway, do you have something, Pillar?
I got a couple in the chamber. Yeah, I picked out 3, but we can do 2. We can do 1. First one this is a comment on my video Fire in Space, which was about the way a certain section of the Acolytes viewers were being not normal with it. This is Jax. Jax says, "This channel is a guy winning his shower debate over and over again."
Wait.
So it's like, the idea.
He got your ass. He got your ass with that one.
Yeah, I mean, he got my. I feel like he almost got my ass. I'm gonna present my case as to why he didn't.
Okay.
Point 1, like, a lot of people were saying this, right? It wasn't just like I didn't make up an argument and then defeat that. But point 2 is like, yeah, my channel a lot of the time my channel is me winning my shower debate. But isn't that awesome? Isn't it great that I have a platform that I can, because everyone, you're walking down the street, someone says something fucking stupid, you get back to your house and you think, Jesus Christ, what a fucking idiot. These are all the reasons that guy was not cooking.
Yeah.
I've got that, but I can I can do that and people will watch it.
You'll make money off of it.
That's the male fantasy right there. is winning the shower argument and that being your job.
Winning the shower argument and getting public praise for it that's.
Yeah, here's the thing. That's what people do. Even Jax realizes I'm winning it, QED. I rest my case.
And the W is the W at the end of the day. With yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like that's a W.
Doesn't matter if you get it in the shower.
That's such a funny comment. Like Jax, I'm totally going to steal that.
Yeah.
And so that's so good.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if it was a hate comment. I mean, it probably was because it's a YouTube comment, but
on the Star Wars video.
maybe Jax is on our side.
It was just an observation, a PoGservation.
Yeah, exactly. He's the one with the real PoGservation.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
I have one.
one.
I have another one from the X-Men video again. This is another one that's like really funny. This one's like I think even on another level from the Mystique one because for that one there's at least like a level of like okay, well at the end of the day that's just your opinion kind of a thing. Even if you're being a fucking weirdo about it.
Yeah.
But this one is like so funny. I shared this one with my Discord server because it was so ridiculous. This one's from King J239. This whole video is me when I lie to make content. Yeah, I don't believe for a second that you never watch X-Men lol, but people are so gullible.
I saw that, yeah.
I don't believe it either. Honestly, you seemed way too enchanted with the timeline from the start. Honestly, fraudulent.
Yeah. I think that you caught on to me. I actually did not watch the X-Men videos for the first time as I was recording those videos. Those reactions that I have, those aren't my off-the-cuff thoughts. I did have to watch them before.
That's not live. The video is not live, yeah.
I know.
No, I don't know. Like, the point that obviously you're lying because everyone's seen the X-Men movies. Like, that's just like prime, yeah. Okay, guy, you're right. Nothing ever fucking happens. Not everyone's lived experiences are identical to yours in every way.
Exactly.
People like that exist. They're out there walking the street, buying hot dogs, eating hot dogs, living in our world.
I think it's also a thing of like, I'm not completely blind. Even though I never watched the X-Men movies, I wasn't completely blind to their existence,
Yeah, you knew they existed. You knew that there was something to do with Dark Phoenix. You knew that there was a guy with laser eyes, shit like that.
Like they had a cultural impact, Like I never watched Dark Phoenix, but I saw, the Jennifer Lawrence line.
You saw everyone crying about
around.
how bad it was.
I saw
Women, X-Men, yeah.
Yeah. I saw
X-Women, that's the one.
I knew that people hated X-Men Origins Wolverine because Deadpool was terrible in it, Like, I knew these things.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like I was completely blind.
But here's the thing. That video's title was not, I've just come out from under a rock for the first time in 20 years with no knowledge, no cultural knowledge of X-Men on the screen at all. And I'm just kind of, clockwork oranging myself and seeing it all and then giving you a live reaction. Because, hey, if that was the video's title, I think this guy's got a point. But as we know, it's not the case.
I actually locked myself into a cryo chamber in 1999, and I came out and there was a bunch of these X-Men movies. And I was going to.
That's the title.
Yeah, I was going to try and see if I could do something on location in New York at the North Tower. But when I asked people about that, they were they kept trying to avoid the conversation. That was really weird.
Yeah. Well, it's New Yorkers. New Yorkers, they're famously indifferent, aren't they?
I actually wanted to say that this guy also made a reply to because someone who was not me actually called him out on this shit, being YouTube commenters when the challenge is not to make the most normal video of all time and then somehow make it into the moral transgression for the silliest reason you've ever seen challenge.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. This guy ate.
That's an MVP reply.
This guy ate him up. And so then the original commenter replied saying, "I think that you being okay with someone making up a whole lie just to attract viewers and potentially money says a lot more about you than me. No wonder y'all are manipulated by politicians."
Wait.
It's because of woke. That explains it.
Wait.
Yeah. Well, now we understand the whole mindset.
Yeah.
It's because of woke. Politics, X-Men, you're lying because politics woke X-Men views on YouTube manipulation,
Yeah.
Which, thank goodness,
don't know
you
why
got
we
the
were
one
so
by
fast to
Tenet.
call them out. Yeah.
You don't have to
probably
worry about that
Ukraine's fault.
anymore.
It was funny about the money. The money point especially is funny to me because, here's the thing, dude. You know that my channel size. This video got 8,000 views. That is nothing on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, you earned three pennies from that video. A whole 3 pennies.
I think this is the video that, besides my high top one, where ridiculous amount of views. But this is the video I've made the second most amount of money off of, and I made $120. That's.
Dude, I totally misheard you just then. I thought you said hot tub video. I was like, did I miss something?
That would be good. But
Yeah.
this, $120 can barely get you through a week of food in this economy.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Joe Biden's economy, Jesus Christ.
In Joe Biden's economy, under the policies created by Donald Trump, but in Joe Biden's economy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, on that note, I just that's something our opposition's been trying to pull recently. So we had a bit of I want to say a race kerfuffle in the UK a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard about that.
There were some riots, and so the party that has been in power for the last 15 years but got voted out a month before all this started, they obviously went in Parliament and started saying Labour, the new government, this is their fault. They've created a culture of blah 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 that's led to riots and shit. And it's my guy, my brother, you are the ones that made this culture. You were in charge for 15 years, and then 1 month later this shit happens. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was like in 2021 when the gas prices started going up, and people were like, "Oh man, Joe Biden's raising the gas prices," when it was just going back up to normal rates because the reason that I'll tell you a secret as to why the gas prices in 2020 were so low. No one was fucking driving.
No one was fucking driving anywhere. It's crazy how events in the world affect other things in the world.
Yeah. But do you have another comment?
Oh, I got another one. This is a fresh one actually. I think this is today.
Ooh.
And here's the thing: the comment calls for reading out in a snarky voice, but the fella then went and commented a nicer comment on another video. So I don't know what to do. He's left me at a loose end there. I don't know how to proceed. But Vincent Bullock says on my video, "Anchor being suck," I'm sorry for having to call in your. No, that is right. I'm sorry for having to call in your media literacy. Am I saying that word right? Literacy.
I don't know if you have a media literacy problem.
I'm just having a brain
You seem to
glitch.
have a literacy problem.
Yeah, right? Okay. Oh my god. I mean, he's right now, you know? I can't claw this back. Okay, Vincent Bullock says, I'm sorry for having to call in your media I can't fucking say this word.
Media literacy pillar. Media literacy.
Oh my god, why can't I say this?
Literacy.
I'm sorry for having to call in your media literacy.
You almost had it. You almost had
it.
I don't know what's happening. Am I having a fucking stroke? I'm sorry for having to call in your media literary.
Let's go.
I really thought you were going to do it that time.
I'm gonna say ML, right? And you guys know what I'm saying, right? I'm just gonna say M. So Vincent Bullock says, I'm sorry for having to call in your ML into question, but come on. I don't know how people find the energy to care about this rubbish and seem to not care about the characters on screen. The point of the film was to bring attention to how easily people shrug off an entire generation of films that people grew up on because it doesn't conform to what is currently cool and marketable, and just celebrate how much love and passion countless people have put into these films. Sorry for spoiling your nerd fun, but it would be nice if more discussion was about what makes films good or bad, and less about some made-up rules that explain how every film connects to the rest in a franchise. I am too old to care about that. And my little hiccup there aside. This is a funny question. This is a funny comment, right?
I think, yeah, it's funny because of the like tone of it and judginess of it, but
yeah,
I can see both sides, I think.
I was gonna say the same thing.
It's like,
I mean, people unquestionably spend way too much brain effort like going deep on like shit that just does not matter. And I'll admit that if I did more of this, and if this video didn't use that as kind of a jumping off point to talk about actual things, like, yeah, if someone just did like a video that was just kind of
that's not
nitpicking
quite how
the
that
internal
works.
logic. Yeah, if someone did 10 minutes of that, right, then I think that would be 1 point, and that'd be fair dinkum. But
yeah, what were we gonna say, nerd?
I don't know.
I mean, there's some videos where I watch. There's some video essays. I'm not gonna name any names. I don't remember the names. I don't believe. But like, there's some video essays. I'm like, okay, you're looking at this dirt or sand, this like speck of sand in this vast ocean of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, it's the video. I mean, they wanted to talk about it. They found it was important enough to bring to attention in some way. And I clicked on the video knowing what it was about.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why am I getting mad
Yeah.
over them talking about
that's true.
that tiny detail?
I saw a lot of comments on your on this Anchor Beings video that where like I understood the sentiment and I agreed to a certain extent in kind of things like this.
Yeah.
But I also felt like it kind of was missing the point of what the video was about. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people were seeing this Anchor Being suck thing in like the first 2 minutes of your thing, and you're taking your main takeaway from that, saying that the main takeaway from the video being like, oh, and that's why I think that Deadpool and Wolverine is bad. Like,
And that wasn't the video.
I have my criticisms of Deadpool and Wolverine. Anchor Beings aren't really related to it at all. I feel like that for what they're going for with like, in this specific instance of the Anchor being like a metaphor for, you know, people not caring about a popular franchise once one of the characters isn't in it anymore, for a series that's as like, you know, fourth wall playing with, it's not even breaking at this point, it's just like playing around with like the, you know, broken shattered glass shards. But it makes sense for this specific story. But I think, and it's been a little bit since I watched it, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think your point with it, Pillar, was that this kind of attitude has greater ramifications for how Marvel's going to handle their stuff with the multiverse things going forward, and how they're going to handle things. It's like not necessarily
that's part of it, and it's also just it's lasering in on the strangeness of one grain of sand, but kind of placing that in a larger conversation. And also some of this comment is also strange in other ways. Like, Vincent says the point of the film was to like bring attention to these old Fox films that like aren't profitable at the moment, and like look back on them and say, kind of reminisce about them. And like, I'm a bit more cynical on that side of things as well. Like, I think there are some people in the Pillar of Garbage Discord server that really don't like the way the film kind of approached the old Fox films, and I don't want to go that far, but like, you know, I think it's the opposite. I think this film is doing Fox Films nostalgia at precisely the moment that it is hip and cool and profitable to do that, because, you know, no one was doing this 5 years ago. You know, no one was doing a victory lap for the Fox films when they were still going or when they just stopped.
Yeah.
Because
I think they heard that TSD was making a whole retrospective. They're like, we have to make something for it, you know?
Oh yeah. This is industry connections.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think when people are talking about here's the thing about the Deadpool and Wolverine is that I don't feel like as a whole it's a celebration of Fox Marvel as people act like it is. I think there's some elements of that in it. That's not really its core point. I think when people are thinking about that, they're thinking about like the ending credits.
The end credits are great. Yeah. I love those unreservedly.
Yeah. I think that's a really good sweet
But
thing.
you do see a lot of people. You see a lot of people taking this line of like, oh, it's giving them the endings they deserved, and it's, you know, showing them a bit of love that hadn't been done before. I don't think that's true at all, actually, because what this film is doing is basically saying, okay, these things matter now because they're MCU adjacent. We've just made them matter with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
I doesn't that kind of go against the entire point of what you're trying to argue, though? Because like surely, you know, they didn't need to be drawn into the fucking Loki void to somehow matter. Like they already had their endings, but the fact that those endings were outside the MCU doesn't make them matter any less. And if you think it does, then, you know, aren't you kind of contradicting yourself, imaginary guy that I'm arguing with in the shower?
It's really interesting that this movie, like a lot of this movie kind of feels like a tug of war between Disney's wants for what they want to do with Fox X-Men stuff, and like Ryan Reynolds and like the other creative team just kind of like wanting to just do their own thing. Yeah, maybe. Like the celebration montage at the end of like the behind the scenes stuff of the movies felt like something that was added by the actual creatives on the thing, who are like, man, you know, a lot of us worked on those movies, and, you know, while they weren't always perfect, it was always fun making them. Well, it wasn't always fun making them. There's, you know, some behind the scenes stories that are,
oh boy.
But like, you know, they generally, I'm saying this as someone who has worked on projects and stuff that I don't always necessarily feel like turned out amazing. I always have so much fun working on them, though, and like making friends, especially and that's just with like doing stuff for a few months. I can't imagine working with the same people for 20 years and like making the same kind of things, the kind of like lifelong bonds you'd form with people. I can see like being that wistful about it, and having specifically being wistful about behind the scenes stuff. That I really understand, even if the movie itself isn't really built for that.
Yeah.
But I guess you have to have a degree of media literacy to understand that.
He said it.
Yeah, let's go. You said it.
I don't know, like, okay. I feel like we could talk about Vincent's comment here for a bit longer, but there's no coming back, is there? Vincent is right, purely by dint of the degree to which I made a massive mug of myself a few minutes ago. So
Vincent
maybe we should go on to
cooking.
Maybe we should go on to questions.
Him the finished dish. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, questions.
Questions.
What is your favorite superhero? How long is a piece of string? Where do we go when we die? Why won't my son talk to me anymore? Questions.
I kind of wanted to try and relate this a little bit to the thing you were talking about vaguely. So I have three questions here. So this goes to both of you and all three of us, I guess. From Not Quite Cool, we have, what changes would you implement to YouTube if you were in charge?
Ooh.
You got any thoughts on this, nerd?
Yeah, just take everyone's subscribers, give them to myself. I feel like that's the main one.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. That's pretty valid,
I feel like there's something that I'm gonna think of like way after this podcast, this episode is like out and stuff. I'm like, dang, I should have done that. I don't know. Probably, I would probably try to. This sounds bad for me. I'm thinking about it. Kind of segregate the I don't know. I feel like I don't
Be
know.
careful with
Come
this.
back to me.
Be careful with this.
You feel like, yeah, maybe if we had kind of separate but equal kind of networks, yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, we are owned by Tenet, so
Yeah.
let's
I
not
had
shy
to-
away from these ideas.
I just wanted to get you guys a little extra money. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to say.
Exactly. We appreciate it.
I think that there's I guess I can kind of correct me if I'm wrong in misreading what you're trying to say, but like there's this kind of weird intersection of different kind of content genres that feel like that they don't mix very well, and that
And different audience behaviors as well.
Okay.
There are different norms in these different niches.
It came back specifically like with really like videos that take like a really long time that have like such high quality, like especially like a lot of animation. They like with the current setup, it's unless you have like Patreon or you pretty much need sponsors on every, if not for me, but like for like big animations where they take like 2 months per video, if not longer. And just like big video essay, like retrospectives and such that also take like 2 months, 1 month, however many months. It's, the current algorithm doesn't really do anything for them. But then if you have some slop content farm that makes, I don't want to sound too mean, but you know what I'm talking about.
No,
Like
I know
the
what
kid
you mean.
content
Yeah, if you got
farms.
someone like, I mean, if XQC just like switched his mic on and talked for like an hour, that would be. There's nothing on the back end differentiating that between something that took months to make.
Yeah.
so like some
So
kind of
I probably
differentiation.
want something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
some
something
kind
like
of
that.
maybe a
We don't
program.
have to say how it would work, but
Yeah.
Because like if it was just a switch or something, then people could easily lie about that and get the algorithmic boost.
Yeah.
But something like some kind of verification process that'd be interesting.
Something like
That'd
that,
be
yeah.
interesting.
or something, just something. We're just waving our magic wand around here, wish fulfilling. Because years ago, I think there was some sort of shift they made to the algorithm, at which point a lot of like animation channels became less viable. I think that was a bit before my time.
There's a shift to watch time, I believe.
Yes.
Oh yeah, probably.
Because then they had to make longer videos, and of course, it takes a while for it to do that.
And like someone like Jaden Animations is able to stay afloat, but because she has like a whole team of people working for her, and even then they only get something out like every month.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of like big animators are like doing streaming on the side for this like some passive or doing like anything on the side, and that's why like a lot of merch sales also like kind of factor into that. So just so they can keep their team afloat,
Yeah, and all of that is just such a huge barrier to entry for someone trying to get in on the ground layer just by themselves, because you can't hire a team if you're just a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're Lauren Chen.
Real.
But yeah. I that's honestly a really good answer, I think. Just having some kind of differentiation for what is higher effort content, and like maybe not like something perfect that's like a system that perfectly figures that out, but if there was some kind of way that they could determine that, it would be really good, and also verify that. That would be great.
Yeah. Something along those lines.
I would also say that I would want to do that. I'm gonna steal part of your answer, but I'm also gonna say I wasn't really joking earlier when I said bring back YouTube DMs. I think that would unironically be a really good feature, because other social media sites like Twitter and Instagram or whatever, or TikTok, are kind of becoming. It's kind of counterintuitive to have a separate source for everything, because YouTube wants you to stay. YouTube wants you to stay in the app all at once, right? So why not try to like help that, and also help creators out by giving them a way to contact each other? Like maybe not have just,
and especially these days, people are leaving Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not even like you can straightforwardly find someone on another platform.
have some kind of like,
I guess you can email, but
have like a verified tab on YouTube DMs, but like one that actually works and isn't just bot spam like Twitter is now.
Yeah. No, that'd be fun.
And I think oh my gosh, can't speak English. I think that even with like like I know everyone uses like Discord nowadays, but I don't think like one creator might not want to have a public Discord just because they're like, a lot of the people on here are weird. So then that's you don't have to know anything else about them. You're like, hey, I want to collab.
Yeah, maybe like
DM.
maybe making like a subscribers only kind of feature would be cool. Because I know there's members only
so you're
already.
not just getting hate.
But
No, I mean, that seems like something that should be pretty doable, subscribers only stuff. That, there's a lot of the stuff, I guess, a lot of the answers for this question, there would be reasons why it would be harder to implement than it is to think up. But surely that's just a day in the office,
Oh, and it's interesting because a lot of my suggestions are things that they already had, but they took away. Why the fuck did they take away community captions?
In shitification.
Why the fuck did they take those away?
Community captions?
Yeah, like community submitted captions. Like someone could make captions for video and submit it to the creator, and then the creator could choose whether to put it. They took that away.
Because nobody needs to have captions, I guess. I don't know.
I don't understand it. Like,
captions? They're gonna have
people
AI
don't exist
do it.
anymore.
like they
Deaf people are woke, so...
But not even deaf people, like people in other countries who don't speak the language, that they don't have access to that resource unless the YouTuber is able to like hire a team of translators to help translate their videos. And
Well,
I don't know about,
English language is non-political, and
True,
I don't know,
yeah.
like kind of seems like you're talking about like
There's,
woke Spanish.
there's actually only two languages. There's English and then there's political. So
foreign, yeah.
And I am not speaking political, okay?
yeah, I was born in America. I speak American.
And YouTube is American because I said so.
Yeah.
Who cares? They're an international company.
Yeah, you're on the internet. Speak American. I do have an answer for this, by the way. If you guys want to hear it.
Yeah.
And again, no idea how feasible this would be on the back end. Hey, these programmers these days, they can do anything. So I think they could figure it out. And I've given this to YouTube a few times. Every now and then they send out like survey. Hey, you're a creator. Do a survey about YouTube. Fill in some stuff.
We're
What would
definitely
you change about
listening.
the platform? I've given them this idea and they haven't done it. Yeah. So what are you doing there, YouTube? But I think this kind of goes back to what I was saying about, the pillar of garbage double dip and navigating being a channel that wants to make content that isn't just one niche. Because, there are big channels that do varied things and that goes well for them. So, in theory, we should be able to do that too. I think there should be a system where when you upload a video, you can create some sort of tag for YouTube that says like, I think as the creator, people, and then you can attach maybe 2 or 3 previous videos of yours, and you can say like, I think as the creator of all these videos, people who like these videos might like this video. So then I could put out a new video about Marvel something or other, film number 600, and I could say people who watched my previous fucking Ant-Man whatever videos, Anchor being sucked, they might like this, and then I could do Over the Hedge, the guy in the citizen in the background, deep lore analysis, what's his whole deal, why is it about capitalism? Mm-hmm. And then I could say people who like my Over the Hedge video might like this one. And then no one's getting in each other's ways. Everyone's just having a good time, chilling out. I guess it probably wouldn't work because the whole thing about the black box is that it just magics up the best results on like a wide scale, and that would be too heavy a kind of training wheel to put on it and try and guide it away. I don't know, but it would be pretty good if they could do that, I think.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Doubt they ever will, though. I don't think they're touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
If it's not, a pressure campaign from advertisers, I don't know of any other reliable way to make YouTube act quickly.
Yeah. You have to advertise that idea to the advertisers.
Although at least YouTube actually responds to advertiser things. I hate to bring it back to Twitter again. My favorite punching bag, Elon Musk, telling advertisers to leave because they don't like what's happening, and then when they leave, suing them for leaving is such a wild move.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win that one.
I don't think so. That's
maybe. At the highest level, law is just money. So,
have you seen that video of Elon Musk at like some like economic reporters conference where he's asked the question of like, what will you do if advertisers don't feel comfortable with this? And then he says, like, fuck them, that's why. And then he like looks to the audience as if he's waiting for applause.
He's waiting for applause.
It doesn't come.
And then none
nobody
comes
does a thing.
The second-hand embarrassment is insane.
It's like he expected the room to be full of his Twitter followers.
He thinks he's him.
Yes, Elon, Daddy Elon, let's go.
He just thinks he's him, and he's just not him. Yeah.
And
He's not him.
What was really funny is that I follow his daughter on TikTok, and she's just like,
well, the one like that cut him off.
yeah, the one that cut him up. Well, you have to be a bit more specific with that one.
Well, yeah.
But Vivian,
Which one?
Vivian, I can't remember her last name. Her last name is not Musk because she changed it when she was changing her legal name. But she's trans, and he went on a whole transphobic tirade about how they stole my son from me, the California school system. And Vivian was like came out with like a Twitter, not a Twitter thread specifically because it wasn't Twitter, but it was like Threads or something where she was just like, "No, I left because you were a fucking asshole, dude. It had nothing to do with the school system turning me woke or whatever." And then she's just like,
the woke agenda stealing my child by making me never talk to them and never empathize with them and be a huge piece of shit.
"Why won't?"
It's ridiculous. I don't understand why they left. I don't understand.
Crazy.
It's like that song at the beginning
be
of this
woke.
section where Pillar says, "Why won't my son talk to me anymore?"
Oh yeah, no, it is. Questions. You got another one for us?
Yeah, I've got another one. So I chose this one because it's episode 10. It's a milestone. We've done 10 episodes.
The big 1-0.
First double digits from Captain Kennedy. This is probably best as an episode 10 question or another episode milestones question specifically. What are some of your favorite memories making the podcast so far?
I think the best time we've had doing this happened about 20 minutes ago. Honestly, that's content.
That was really good.
The bit where I forgot how to read for a bit.
Yeah.
Because,
top 10 moments.
you can't
for
manufacture a moment like that. That's organic. That's good, healthy, clean fun,
You can't even pay $10 million for a moment like that. For
Yeah.
Sure.
They could pay us $20 million and they'd never be able to replicate that.
I'm glad you're here. You were here for that one, nerd. I think that was a historic moment that we witnessed.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Go down in podcast history. I don't know. I guess my favorite memories have always been like the guest episodes because I hate Pillar so much. He's so annoying to just talk to him.
Oh.
Yeah.
But no, just like it's fun to have. It's just fun to have other people's perspectives on certain things. There's not a lot of like specific memories that I have of like things that I enjoy. I just kind of like shooting the shit for a little bit. And
Yeah.
I know that we kind of do make these for an audience. But
it's not a massive audience, really.
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
not a massive audience, and like I feel like it kind of just feels like an excuse to just get together and just kind of hang out for a couple hours, which is nice.
Yeah.
And it helps.
It's just guys being guys, It's just dudes being dudes.
Just hanging out.
Just kind of dudes rock kind of situation.
It really is dudes being dudes because we haven't had a single female guest so far.
Yeah, 'cause we're really. Maybe we are sexist.
We might be. I'm not sexist. I have female
We need
friends.
to find a woman. That's what we need to do. We need to find a woman
Any woman.
and put them on the podcast.
We could get Miss Chen on.
We get Miss Chen on. Yeah, we get Boss Lady. I mean, she's still got the out of hours on the email, but I'm sure that'll turn around.
I think speaking as someone who this is the first time obviously on the podcast, my favorite moment in the podcast, aside from the one I'm in, I didn't really like the sponsorship.
Do tell, yeah.
I not even just the sponsorship episode, but just any time together talking about your videos, like what you're working on, how you're working on it. Just because that's something I just really like hearing about different people's process. That's why I watch. I think there's another podcast that's run by 3 different YouTubers, and they're anytime they're talking about the YouTube creation process, I'm like, oh, okay, let me tune in. Maybe I can learn something interesting. Maybe I can learn something that they did that was dumb. Maybe they're still doing something dumb. I don't know. It's nice, and the whole sponsorship episode.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah, do more.
Because I worry those are the bits. In my own head. In my own head, I'm like, oh, we got to get to a real focused discussion real soon, because otherwise we're just going to be yapping. But hey, if the yapping's the good part, we can keep yapping.
It gives us. You just gave Pillar all the license to do this. I hope you appreciate what you've done.
Listen.
That's maybe a bad move.
Let them cook. Let them cook.
Yeah,
but
7-Up a triple foam yappuccino.
But to your point about enjoying just listening to people talk about things, I feel the same thing, which is why I listen to all these podcasts on loop and just listen to the sound of my own voice. But it's also, I have been recently to bring it back to Gravity Falls a bit, I've been listening to the commentary tracks for all the episodes. I just finished them yesterday, actually. And all of them have Alex Hirsch, the show creator, on it. And it's so interesting hearing him talk about this show that, like, I consider to be almost a perfect show. It feels so masterfully crafted to it. And, like, half of every commentary episode is like, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We're just kind of like, we'll do this. And then, we'll change that around. And I don't know if this really came out perfect. There's, like, and, like, the fact that they had so much doubt about their project that they weren't even sure they were going to return for a season 1 because they weren't sure people would like it. And season 1 is, you know, it's the worst of the 2 seasons, but it's still an incredible season of television.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the bottom tier of a incredible cake. You know what I'm saying? It's delicious.
Yeah. And so it's interesting to me, like, hearing people's creative processes, because it helps demystify the process a little bit, which, you know, for some people, which is helpful for me as someone who wants to be a creative. Or I don't, you know, I'm selling myself short. I am a creative. I think
you are a creative.
You are,
TSD.
yeah, for sure.
I've made a show. You
gotta own that label.
Whatever. I'm a creative, but I like listening to.
That's actually a good segue into something I was thinking about. I will find where I got this from. I'll find it on my YouTube history because this is not an original thought. But I watched I watched a video essay from a smaller channel kind of recently. Let me just go on history. And basically one of the points it kind of dwelled on was like, I imagine all of us sort of think of our creation and creativity as like, we're kind of in the before stage, you know? We're still working our way up to get to the platform and the work we will be known for, you know? For me, I always think like when I have enough from Patreon that I don't have to worry about getting videos out all the while for the YouTube AdSense, when I can just kind of do stuff at my own pace and then do that kind of thing, then that'll be Pillar of Garbage. That'll be, you know, that's the stuff I'm gonna be known for. And like, you know, I've got all these, yeah, exactly. And I've got all these video ideas I've been sitting on for like, you know, probably a couple of years at this point of like the big projects I want to do when I have the resources to do them properly. But like, you know, the idea of like, for, you know, there's no guarantee that that point will ever come.
Yeah.
And, you know, your work is what your work has been, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea, what people think of as Pillar of Garbage is the stuff I've done in the meantime while I'm waiting to be able to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting perspective shift.
It's like when you're in the thick of it, you're kind of always comparing yourself to, you know, what you think is better, like who you think does it better. Like,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many times I've had like an internal freak out session about my own project that essentially when I think about it, it's kind of ridiculous because it basically just boils down to, why am I not making ContraPoints level videos every 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just because that stuff takes time. And like even people who do it really well, they have people that they compare themselves to. I think we talked about this in one of the episodes, but it bears repeating here.
Yeah.
Everyone has a standard they hold themselves against. And just because like you haven't met the standard that you set out for yourself out in the wild doesn't mean that you haven't met a standard of success that makes it so that people, you know, pay attention. Like, because think about like Pillar, you have like over 100,000 subscribers. That doesn't seem like a lot because YouTube rots your brain about numbers, but that's 100,000.
That is true.
That's 100,000 people who chose to subscribe to your channel because they liked it enough that they wanted to see more of it. Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
That's a
lot.
Yeah. And like, I think about that. And I every time I think about it, and every time I try and visualize it and fail, you know, horribly, I kind of walk myself back and I think, well, no, you know, a lot of those people subscribe for the kind of stuff I'm not really doing anymore. So you got to take a few tens of thousands off there. And then, you know, even the rest of them, like if I put out a video that doesn't do so well, not everyone tunes in for that. Like, you know, my most recent video hasn't been doing great. It's got like 7,500 views. But then I obviously, you know, when I'm present in my brain enough to kind of hit myself in the head and say, shut the fuck up, Pillar. The video's been out like 3 or 4 days and 7,000 people have watched it. And it's your worst performing video in ages. That's pretty fucking cool. So
that's the bar for failure.
Yeah, I have to keep reminding myself that because YouTube does rot your brain.
Yeah, God, I can't imagine having someone be like in the millions. Like you think about how people who have like a million subscribers. You know how much a million is?
Yeah.
A million is
no, I
ridiculous.
don't. That's the point.
Like
yeah.
That's the pinnacle, isn't it?
It's like you think about like just 10 years ago, Smosh like became the first channel to have 1 million subscribers. That was such a big fucking deal, you know? That was so huge. It's like, oh my god, 1 million people. And now like people, you know, it feels like every half out, like, you know, it feels like every like mid-tier YouTuber has 1 million subscribers, so it doesn't feel as special, but it's still special, you know?
It's still a lot of people, no matter what.
Yeah. I can't find this video I was on about. It's not in my history. I know I watched it. I feel like it was by a channel called Snow or something. I will find it, and it will be in the video description if you're watching this on the YouTube. So yeah, credit will be given just retrospectively.
So it sounds like you have to go, nerd.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tap out. I gotta get off to work.
All right. Yeah, fair enough.
Well,
thank you guys for having me. It's been really fun.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Great having you.
It's been good.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
All
Everyone
right.
check out the story
See you.
nerd. We'll put your links in the description.
All right. Thank you.
See ya. All right. Any last questions?
Yeah, I have one more actually.
All right.
So this is kind of related. I guess this you covered this a little bit. Not Quite Cool asked, do you have any ideas for videos that you'd like made but aren't in your wheelhouse?
Okay, so that's sort of similar, but a bit different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I've got a lot of ideas for videos which I feel like are in my wheelhouse, but I just don't have the time or resources for yet. But like I think this is like deep dives on stuff that I don't know enough on to deep dive, you know?
Yeah. There was something I saw that some person made like a post that was like, I'm not like a video essay person, so I want a video essay like this. Someone needs to do like a cultural delve deep into the history of the Vine boom. Someone needs to like analyze the cultural impact of that, because that's so interesting how the place it is. And I agree, that would be a really interesting thing to see.
Yeah, Vine boom would be good. I struggle to imagine what you'd say about a Vine boom that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be good. One of mine, and I talked about this previously on the podcast, as something I might do one day. But I have been thinking about it because I've been watching more and more shitty rom-coms, and I don't know how I'd get the information I'd need. But like a video essay on the fact that Rotten Tomatoes scores have changed a lot, especially in the kind of rom-com genre. And like, you know, you watch a rom-com from like 15 years ago that's really good, and it's got like 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know, what's happened there? What's happened there? I don't know. I can't make that because I feel like I'd need to know what to look for. It's like you don't know what you don't know. I don't know the search terms that I would need to know to find out the relevant information.
Something you might want to look into is the fact that Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate site, and there's definitely a time from before it was around, and it aggregates reviews from before Rotten Tomatoes was around, and then a point after where it aggregates reviews from where Rotten Tomatoes was around, and people write reviews for with Rotten Tomatoes in mind. That'd be an interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's part of it. But like, even there, I don't know where you would get a source talking about that.
Well, it's funny because I remember there was a big scandal because Citizen Kane had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, but then an old timely review resurfaced that was negative, and it dropped down to 99%. I remember that was like a big deal. Like, no, not the perfect movie being, you know, thought of less perfectly
by some stupid number on a website. Yeah. I don't know. That's like that's one I don't have the tools to make myself at the moment, but I would, you know, devour if it popped up on my screen. I tell you what, actually, this is almost an answer to the question, but not quite. I recently saw a video that I didn't know I needed until that point, but at which point I greedily scarfed down like a castaway on a desert island, finding a big tall glass of water, which was someone from a Discord server we're both in, I think. Secret Unlockable Goose, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Their video. Let me find this in my history so I can get the title right. It is Brick by Brick, a history and deconstruction of Lego racing games.
Oh, yeah.
Did not know I needed that until I saw it.
I saw them post
I watched it in almost one sitting. It's like 2 hours long. As a kid who like no-lifed the shit out of Lego races and Lego Races 2 and drone races, I hadn't, you know, experienced all of the media they talk about in this video. I'd seen some of it. It's a really good video. Man, when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, this fits right into the nooks and crannies of my brains.
Yeah. I think the issue is that with the question a little bit is that because of how we're wired, we kind of feel like a lot of the video essays that we want to see people make are less so things that we don't really feel like we could do. It's more like a thing of like, oh, I could do that in the future if I like prepared myself for that a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because like once you've made a video essay or you've made a lot of video essays, the prospect of making something like that like falls much further in reach.
Yeah.
Like there was something that I wanted to do that I thought about while I was making the Gravity Falls video. There was a thing that happened after the Gravity Falls ended where I talk about this in the video. That's why I thought about it. But I talk about it for a little bit where the show creator hid a statue of Bill Cipher somewhere in the woods in the Pacific Northwest. And then he created like a giant like treasure hunt, world-spanning national treasure-esque treasure hunt for people to try and find it based off of puzzles and stuff. And it was really cool. And like everything I've seen about it is really cool. But like every time I watch a documentary or something about it, it always feels like it like misses certain parts of the story that I already know about. And like it feels like they're like if you watch them together, you get a fully complete picture. But then you can also like find resources that compile all this information. And there was also one documentary that I tried to watch that was pretty long, but I found the narration style very annoying, so I couldn't get through it. But so I thought to myself, like, well, what if this Gravity Falls video does well? What I could do is I can make my own documentary about all these events and try to get as much information as I can in one place. That would be fun. Like it wouldn't be like I wouldn't be the only one to do it, but it would be a fun thing to do, and I think I could add my own unique flavor to it.
Yeah. I guess two other semi-answers here that I just thought of. I do have one or two video ideas which like I would have the time to do now. Like they're not super long projects, and I kind of know the outline of what I'd be talking about. But in terms of how I would make the video, I don't think it would be possible to make in the faceless style I am at the moment. I'd have to there'd have to be, video footage. So like that's a video idea I want to do, but currently would not be able to. And also because of the way the YouTube platform works, and maybe I could get around this by making it a Patreon exclusive, I don't know. I would love to talk more about music. I would love to do more kind of music analysis, tie that into videos, video itself. One thing I'm batting around as maybe a Patreon exclusive for this month, because I owe them one, because the Hedge video, blah, 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 is like an analysis of the Brat album. I think I could do a really good analysis, like situate it in the cultural context and also talk about why it... Yeah, exactly. But I can't do that on YouTube because copyright would just, copyright would copyright, and then it would be copy wrong.
I've been really getting into music analysis too. I'm not so much like doing it myself, but I've been consuming a lot of it because I've liked music my whole life. Because I liked the pretty sounds, but hold on, sorry, my cat is clawing at the door. I need to take care of this. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. I'm sorry to leave in the middle of my thought.
All right.
All right. It wasn't too loud. It's just that like she was starting to scratch a little bit, and I felt like it was going to become a bigger problem. But
I wasn't vamping or anything. We might have to cut that.
Yeah. Okay.
This is just 10 seconds of silence.
But I've been getting more into music analysis because I want to seriously try to make my own music. I know you make music, and
well, that's maybe a strong way of
no. You make music like this. You made all the themes for this, but I want to do that. And oh my God, she's back. Okay.
Animals be really crazy with it. They want to go out, then they want to come in. It's a whole thing.
I'll just let her in, and there might be a chance where she'll jump up on my lap and start purring into the mic. So
I think the viewers would like that actually. So
yeah,
I don't think we have to worry about that too much.
All right.
But no, I do want to do a music episode of this podcast in the future, talking about this kind of stuff, talking about previous musical endeavors on this channel, stuff we want to do in the future, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get Kevin to guest.
We
on
could
that.
get a full episode
I
about
suppose
that.
he's a content creator of a sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
He helped me make that Subway Surfers song, which
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
is bad, but not because of him. He wrote really good lyrics.
It's not bad.
But I have
Yeah.
like terrible like intonation and like stuff with that video. Like I listen to it and I'm like, just stumbling over myself saying those things. I don't know if you noticed, I don't have a lot of experience rapping.
Oh yeah.
But Kevin does some really good stuff. He wrote the lyrics for that.
Yeah.
And it's impressive because he wrote stuff that really flowed really well, but then when I listen to it, it sounds like it doesn't flow very well, but it's just because I say it wrong. I put the wrong emphasis on things. But I'd like to do that, and I'd like to...
Yeah, I don't know when we do that. I feel like part of me, I'm kind of holding out spiritual hope that I will have the time and the inclination to do like a Morbius EP sequel when Craven comes out. So maybe that'd be a good time to do that. But we've also got the Morbius theme episode to do when Craven comes out. So there'll be a lot of themed episodes around that point. When is Craven coming out?
Like December, I think. I think they moved it.
Okay. Yeah.
But we could do a Morbius commentary track.
Oh, that'd be.
I already did that one of those, I guess, technically with my brother, but that was my first time watching it, so this will be different. Yeah,
I mean, because we've both seen it 200 times each now,
so
we kind of have a bit more of a kind of a understanding of the craft.
200 times. Whoa, that's not enough. I don't think. Are you lowballing me, Pillar?
Well, don't want rookie numbers. I'm gonna pump those up before we get to it. But
right, okay. Anyway, can you hear the cat?
I actually can't, but maybe you can put a big compressor on your section there. You know, pump the decibels up.
Probably
put a cat filter on.
Hi, Mabel. I'll put a picture on the screen of Mabel for people watching.
That's a good idea.
I don't have any more questions. I don't think.
Yeah, this one really ran out of steam, huh?
Well, I don't know if it ran out of steam so much as the steam got knocked out of it by the cat interrupting.
Yeah. Maybe the cats are fed.
The cats are fed. She heard about the that we got bought out by Tenet, and so she wanted to come investigate.
Yeah, the ops are coming for us. Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe we better sign out now before the flashbangs start coming in.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah.
Now she's rubbing against the computer. I think it's time to probably wrap things up before she starts knocking over my setup. All right. Well, now I think we should probably void our contract with Tenet Media after all this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the next episode will be coming to you guys from the inside of a prison.
Yeah.
But until that happens, I've been.
I gotta
pillar,
read our
quote media literacy of garbage.
I gotta read our Miranda rights out.
All right.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. We post new episodes every other Friday. Don't forget to follow us on. Ow!
Oh heavens!
Oh my God, she's digging her claws
Nothing's going right
into
for us
me.
at the moment. Number one hater confirmed. TSD's cat.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. We post new episodes every other Friday, so don't forget to toss us onto whatever platform you're listening to us on. If you're on YouTube, toss us a like if you liked and comment if you had any thoughts. And if you're on any other podcast platform, leave us a review. And no matter what platform you're on, feel free to share the show with anyone you think might like it. All of those help support the show and ensure future episodes. You can find The Story Nerd on YouTube, and I believe any other socials we will also link in the description underneath that. You can find Pillar on YouTube, Twitter, and Blue Sky Social, all under Pillar of Garbage. He also has a Discord server that should be linked in the description where you can have your own questions on the hashtag PoGcast Q&A channel read on the pod. You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and all others under TSD Talks. We also both have Patreon pages that, among other cool perks, allow you to listen to episodes of the show early. Usually just whenever we finish them, it can kind of range. And with that out of the way, I'm TSD Talks.
I'm Pillar of Garbage.
And this has been the Pillar of Garbage podcast.